Hello, my friends. This is an electricity ship. This is power to the people. These are our stories. These are the stories of the Anima Mundi, God, Goddess, Creator, guides, source, what have you. We're all part of it. Excuse me. This is a collective reading, all skate, everyone skate, for so much energy going on. There's the new moon on the 12th, as well as the 12/12 portal. St. Lucia's Day, for all Swedes who observe, holla, is on the 13th. And of course, that is a festival celebrating the winter solstice, which is coming up on the 21st or the 22nd, I believe. 22nd. Next Friday. So this is a timed reading, but of course, whenever it comes to you, this is the message for you. Anything that resonates with you, rings your bell, toots your whistle, tickles your fancy, that message is for you. Anything that does not make you feel empowered, that's not for you, or it's not for you right now. Come back to it later. Spirit's never going to give you a message that you are not prepared to work with your own power at this time. All right? Hell yeah, babes. Okay. That said, I am so appreciative of everybody who is here, who is present. I put prayers on my altar for anyone who interacts with the channel, past, present, or future. Please hit the like button, subscribe. There's other ways to interact with the channel in the description box below, as well as comments. I love emoji comments. Those are terrific. And thank you for everybody who donated. That makes a huge difference. I mean, it's amazing. The first thing I will get with your donation is probably fresh mozzarella cheese, because I love it. So thank you. This is a huge part of my gratitude practice, and so it's really good to be here. It's an honor, and I can only be here because you are here. That said, for the reading today, we're going to work with a couple oracle decks, a couple tarot decks, and a clarification tarot deck. We have the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland, the Divining Poets Lucille Clifton deck here, and one popped out in the pre-shuffle. For the tarot, we have the Somnia Tarot by Nicholas Bruno and the Universal Fantasy Tarot this is my oldest deck too, and Paolo Martinello. This is my oldest and favorite deck. And then clarification, we have Radiant Wilds Tarot by Nat Gersberger. So thank you again for being here. Let's get into this. As we do it, let's bless this space with our gratitude. Anything that first comes to mind, your heart, body, mind, spirit, intuition, soul, feel it, whatever pops in. It is a micro tenderness or a macro tenderness, a feeling of great awe or a sparkle of joy, a little sprinkling of sugar in your bowl. Whatever it is, we are building together a space and a time, a kingdom of tenderness that we're building together. So thank you for being here. This is the Anima Mundi. This is our story. Thank you. The gratitude I was thinking about as we entered this was I dug into one of my tote bins for Christmas lights and was having very much like, Chevy Chase moment of like grumpy dad, like untangling lights. But I'm going to put some up on my porch because there's no reason not to hang up lights. Especially when I have as many as I do. And I love all those cables. It's fun to dig through them. So, for the collective, and yeah, like I said, there's a lot going on. There's like this rebirth energy, right? So, if you've been testy, if you're like sick of this shit, as it were, new moon is arriving at about around 6:30 Eastern time, to kind of clear the deck and start over. So think about things that you want to get rid of, and then what you want to build once the moon starts growing again. Because it is, if things have been pissing you off, get rid of them and build new. Build new. We've got a new moon coming. For the collective, please. I haven't used this deck in a while, and it's kind of fast and loose. Oh, there it is. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon. Cool. Well, I like that. Oh, man. I've been dehydrated because it's winter, and I am... I opened a can of seltzer, and it's very fresh and very bubbly, and I'm going to be burping this entire time. All right, we've got Divining Poets for the collective, please. Thank you, Spirit. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, I can't wait. And this is a deck I haven't used very often either, so I'm excited to dig into it. Appreciate it. For the collective, for the new moon, St. Lucia's Day, solstice, 12/12 portal. We have the Tower. Ooh. 4 of Cups. Burdens are about to be let go, my friends. And we have, ooh, the Hierophant. Taurus energy. Deep spiritual communication. And then the 7 of Cups. What's this schmutz? What is this schmutz? Wow. Okay. Look at this burden you've been carrying. And that was something that was coming to me before we started reading. It's like in the Rider-Waite deck, you see this character looking at these 3 cups and not seeing the 4th that's being offered by the universe. And it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. And then here, this is like kind of too much, right? But these are like the resources you have at your disposal, and you're just trying to sort out like how it all works, like put it in order with this Hierophant energy. But then there's also this Tower energy that is like coming with a message of like what doesn't work in here. It's going to come down to maybe 4 elements of your skills and abilities and heart song callings. Maybe just 1. But I feel like if you pare down the things that you care about into 7 categories, at least 3 of them are going to go away. They're just going to not fit anymore. And you will be creating this order to communicate with spirit. Spirituality is a big part of the Cups energy. It's your heart calling to the divine. I mean, of course, wands and some fire energy are very connected to spirituality and inspiration, but this is an earth energy. You want this to come to earth. Like, the party woohoo energy of the Three of Cups has been great and everything, but like, let's bring it to earth. Like, God, Spirit, Goddess, Creator, speak to me and bring it into my life. We have, oh yeah, okay. So the past, the inner child, the heart, the center. Oh, 2 came out. Okay. Holy moly. 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups and the Queen of Wands. So right away, it's like this heart is calling out from the depth of your being, from the beginning, from the establishment of your emotional well-being, and looking for someone to understand you and make something real in this world that lasts. Because this has not been enough. And you have these desires that need to be fulfilled and listened to. I rarely get so much information from the cards as they come out. Like, I like to look at the whole spread before I begin, generally, but like, this is mega. Every detail matters, right? You're getting a message from your heart. And every single detail matters. And it has not been enough, and you're going to get rid of that which does not serve you. This is too much. This is not enough. This is too much. Edit, edit, edit. If you don't, the universe will do it for you. Because the universe wants to connect with you. And it wants to connect with you in an organized way, and in a way that makes sense to the earth and serves the earth. And you might be serving the earth in fabulousness and abundance, you know. You may find a person in your life to help you share the abundance that exists already within you. Create something of lasting value. And you know, maybe you came into this earth like, okay, this is fine. I could just like live my life and like enjoy my body and my heart and my soul and my spirit in this physical plane, and then, you know, just carry on. And, you know, but this is saying that something that you do in your life impacts generations. Also, it's good to see a 10 right in front of a new moon, because we're allowed to leave behind all of the things that we've built on this earth, because we can just build it again if we wish. I mean, I'd love to see an ace to confirm that. But a message is coming through from your heart, and it's from long ago. It could be from when you were a baby and forming your attachments. Or at any time in your childhood, or it could be, you know, yesterday, last week. But I feel like relationships are very important, and connecting. I mean, there's so many cups here. Cups, 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 cups. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it in your heart. And I was talking to a coworker the other day, and she was telling the story, and she comes from a Christian tradition where her mother was a minister, and she was in this really like troublesome life or death situation, and she called out to God, which is how her heart has been trained to find source, and was praying, God, please get me out of this situation. And as soon as she felt her heart break the veil, all of the means were provided. Like, the person who was in her way between her and her escape moved out of the way. Her body responded to distract this person. She ran out the door. Her keys were on the seat of her car. Her cousin was nearby to help her. All of these things fell together to help her retain her life. And all of the things that she has discovered since this hardship have been a process that was better and better and better. But because she called out with her heart, it began. The process began, and all of the resources fell in to help her. And, you know, now 5 years later, she finds herself, after, you know, the situation that she was in, after she was in recovery from this dreadful scenario, it was good to land in that scenario. But now there is more. What I was telling her, okay, so it was a breakup. You know, she's breaking up with this guy that she was with, that helped, you know, he helped her get through the aftermath of this dreadful situation. And now he's like bringing up, you know, something that happened 5 years ago, and she's like, no, there's not enough growth anymore. And he's like, well, I'm better to you than this scenario prior. And what popped into my head was that John Mulaney bit where he talks about working with Mick Jagger, who has like been successful through his entire career since he was in his early 20s. And if John Mulaney doesn't land a funny joke that he's writing for this bit for Saturday Night Live where Mick Jagger is starring, Mick Jagger just says, "Not funny." So it's like, find that voice inside of yourself where you're like, it's not good enough. You know, it's like, if it's not funny enough, it's not sexy enough, it's not enough money, it's not enough friendship, it's not enough loyalty, it's not enough devotion, it's not enough, like, commitment, it's not, you know, like, you can have more, right? And, like, you can hold out for whenever you smarten up and figure out that there's a cup right there among all of these seven, you know, the four cups, the 7 cups. There's one cup that works. And this tower will knock everything else out because your heart is calling. This is the heart chakra. This is like your inner child. And so if you, so just a warning, if you do awaken the inner child, like, there's going to be some messes to clean up, and you have to parent yourself, which is really nice to see this Hierophant there, because, like, that's a really good authority figure for nurturing you into a higher existence. Also, bear in mind that this is a master manifester energy. This Queen of Wands, she gets whatever she wants. This is Aries, too, by the way, if you have any Aries in your life. And then I should mention that Pisces is Knight of Cups. So if you have, you know, particularly Aries or Pisces people or placements, please pay attention to that. Taurus is also very strong here, but I feel more that Major Arcana is spiritual forces coming to play in your destiny to give you a, right? So Tower is going to take down what is not enough if you don't do it. So you might as well clean house, because these 3 cups are not enough and they're preventing you from seeing the ace. These 7 of cups confusing you. It's good to fantasize, brainstorm, spitball for what's coming for the next cycle. You know, it looks like it's an emotional cycle. There's a emotional message coming in, an emotional energy. There's somebody maybe who you're not seeing or who is going to come with you into the next cycle or has been with you in this last cycle that's been a lot about building your earthly resources. And that makes sense, right? Because the Hierophant is still here. So there's still like energy of building on earth, right? But it has to be imbued with more emotion. That is very clear. And probably some passion, like some latent passions that you haven't paid attention to. Maybe you didn't feel like they were possible because we have this believe in the impossible blue moon card here, right? Like maybe your deepest, most heartfelt desires did not seem possible to you for some reason. You know, maybe there was too much going on. Maybe there was so much love in your heart that like you couldn't see how it would like work on this earth, but you definitely made something happen. Something really positive and successful. But at the end of the day, it's not enough. It's not fulfilling your heart. What needs to go in this new moon? St. Lucia 1212 portal, the beginning of Mercury retrograde. And you might not be able to talk about it with Mercury retrograde. You might not be able to sign any contracts with that. I'll talk about the Hierophant with the Mercury retrograde in a minute. But like, yeah, Queen of Cups. So yeah, again, there's like this manifestation energy, this like receptive energy. The Queen wants to receive what she is due. She wants to hold all of the emotions. None are rejected. Something in your heart has been rejected and something else has covered it up. The Queen wants to receive the feeling and is going to yeet whatever feelings are not productive. I mean, feel them, feel all the feelings. Absolutely. The Queen of Cups is feel all the feelings. But she also has the container of the cup. That's the important thing about the cups, is that there is a container for your feelings. Like, it can be held, observed, and then use it to water plants, right? Or like feed whatever you need to feed. But like, or burn it away on a fire. You know, like water is the essence of water is its temporary nature. It moves, it flows, it fills in gaps, it flows on. Like stagnant water is no good, you know. And the Seven of Cups is such a stagnant water energy. The Four of Cups, there's those 3 cups that are just sitting there, like just not working for you. I'd like another card on these 3, please. Yeah, got to start making moves with some heat, you know, so you can use some of that passion and that heat and that inspiration to burn off like some of those old feelings that you don't need anymore. Use that broth to cook this, whatever this energy is that you've built up. Like use it to, you know, you can't just like sit there with a pile of food and not eat it, you know. And you, in order to eat it, you have to cook it, and in order to cook it, you have to have the broth that you've created, you know, and you have to have this wands energy to like heat it up and light that fire under it, and use it for your next cycle, which I think will be emotional. You know, you've got all these resources, and I think they'll continue, but it needs to be imbued with feeling for it to work this time. And passion. I mean, we don't have any air energy in here, which is fascinating. I'd like to talk about the Hierophant, these plans that you're making and these structures that you're creating with this 10 and this relationship energy and this desire during Mercury retrograde, because you might have to keep your cards close to your chest, as it were. Yeah, 5 of Swords. So, like, you know, not everybody's going to support you with this one. You might need to keep it between, you know, this message from your heart or this message from another person, people you can trust with the very essence of your being. Let's talk about these 3, please. And yeah, this like kind of special. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, 10 of Cups. So this is another cycle, emotional cycle coming. So this talks to you have self-parented. Oh God, the Star and the 4 of Wands. Wow. Oh, believe in the impossible. Yes, everything this Queen desires, but you know, maybe people told you that like you're aiming too high. I don't think so. And this is big healing energy too. And I love this 4 of Wands too, because she shows this pregnant woman, which like the 4 of Wands is so much about like community celebration, but like, again, you know, like that gestation, you know, it's obviously like a huge reason for celebration, but a lot of women don't like to talk about their pregnancy, at least until the 2nd trimester, you know, because there is a lot more miscarriage than people talk about, and that can be very, very devastating for women who want to be mothers too. So, my love, if that is a part of your history or your vulnerability, then my love to you. And, you know, with this child card, yes, you know, there could be a pregnancy in here. And it is a reason for celebration, but it might be something that needs to be kept between you and your intimate family, and maybe just your partner. But I do feel success. I think that you need to keep anyone who contests you or does not believe in your dreams in general. And, you know, this baby could be a new business venture or a creative project. But there's a lot of energy going toward it. And I would recommend that you keep it close to your chest and just set up the order that you need and the structure and the safety. And keep away from people who mirror, you know, on the dark side of this card is, you know, people mirroring you energy that you're used to, right? So the past might be coming up as energy that you're used to, family systems that you're used to, whatever project that you're putting forth. Please be wary of not connecting with this, not just the people, the specific people in your past, but the type of people who mirror excuse me, the people in your past who, you know, it seems normal and fine because you're so used to it. But the people who are like or are the same people in your past who have discouraged you and have been part of that established homeostasis of your nervous system and your emotional landscape, you know, like the people who contest you and argue with you and shut you down of all your ideas, you need to stay away from them. Let's get one more on this 5 of Swords, because I would like some advice about how to combat that kind of energy and remain in your inspired, heartfelt, like, desire, you know, that's going to work, you know, because I think this Tower is, like, cutting away the not enough, not enough. Knight of Swords, yeah, you might have to have some words. You might have to fucking spit science, baby. Boundaries. Speak your boundaries. Say them. Write contracts if you need to. Contracts are good for this. Write it down. Speak it. Put it in writing. You know. Notary public. Get your lawyer to look over it. Because, like, yeah, I mean, this is, like, established system, so, like, I totally, like, get it in writing. Or at least, you know, get a verbal agreement. And watch also for, you know, libel and slander is another one. If that's happening to you, do not engage in it. Just don't. Just don't. You have trusted people who you can trust with your personal feelings. And there's always your journal, or talking into a hole in a tree, or writing a note and throwing it in a river and letting it go away, because you don't need any of this negative shit. Get rid of it. Speak it. Even if you don't speak it to another person, express it. You know, a new moon is a great time to do a burn if you have access to a fire pit or a crucible, or do some candle magic. I like to write things out on pieces of paper that I'm done with and then burn them in the fire. But, you know, whatever works. If you're a water sign or have a lot of water identifying energy, you might want to send it down the river, like I mentioned, or, you know, please use biodegradable materials. You could write it on a rock with charcoal and throw it into the river and let the water take it away. Like I said, you could whisper it into the knot of a tree, or, you know, bury something in the earth that represents something that you want to be absorbed, to mulch, you know, like, we're talking a lot about mulching, you know, like, all of these ideas, great, right? Awesome. And you might use them later. But they'll come back to you in their good time. You know, I watched this Neil Gaiman talk about his writing process, and he ends up, you know, editing out a lot of his ideas from his work, but he says that they're compost for his later work. So, you know, all of these ideas can come to fruition potentially, but anything that you're manifesting, you have to be willing to let it go. You know, and then I didn't cover spells for air signs, which, like, fire spells are good for air signs too, because fire needs air, and the smoke is good for sending those things off. You can send seeds that you've blessed with your intentions out into the wind. And if y'all have any other air spells that you can think of, I'd love to read those in the comments for sure. Any spells that you want to talk about in the comments, I'm excited about that. But we're over half an hour now, so I'm gonna end with these two cards, or maybe I won't. I don't know. But let's see what Lucille Clifton has to say to us. I am the bush. I am burning. I am not consumed. All this stuff that's like falling. I mean, you are this Queen of Wands, you know? Nothing can hinder you. This is like, and, you know, the night energy is a fire energy. You are the star. You are the queen, you know, and she's referring to most likely the story of the burning bush, which is like a, you know, from the Bible, when Moses received the Ten Commandments. Also, some people have speculated that that might be referring to the phenomenon that Moses saw, maybe, you know, like a St. Elmo's fire, or Jack of the Lantern, bog fires, phosphorescence, spontaneous combustion, like this kind of marvel of nature that happens. And you are a marvel of nature, you know? The impossible is possible, and will give you revelations. without consuming you, because this is something you can handle. You've been through these 10s. This piddly little 5 energy is like nothing compared to these blessings that you have. You can speak, you can set boundaries, you can back yourself up. And the Tower is going to take down any negative energy that you send away. You know, like another spell, you know, is when somebody's talking shit to you or doing some shady behavior, just send it back. Just be like, no, I'm not taking that. Your anger, etc., your ill will, your thievery, your whatever, you can keep that. Send it back. Send it back. Just don't, anything anybody's sending to you that you don't want, send it back. Let the war be won, and let love be at the end. Let the war be won. Let love be at the end. Because what else is there? If everything is burned away, what's left? There's love. There's our essential essence. Our essential essence. So don't be afraid to set a fire, my loves. Set your own fire. Be a part of the Tower. Burn it, burn it down. And let love be at the end. Let love be your crucible, your cup of love, the thing that cooks all of your riches. Let love be the new beginning. I'd love to see an ace, but we might have to wait until December 12th at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for that ace to come to us. But right now we're flushing with the intention of the war be won and love be at the end, my loves. Star is here. It's all here. Believe in the impossible. If you have not yet liked this video, I would be delighted if you would do so. And any comments, shares, subscribes, all that good stuff. I really appreciate being here to read for you, because and with you, and be in this energy, because like your energy present is, I love people. I love you. I really do. I feel awesome every time I do this. So from my heart to yours, this is an electricity ship. This is power to the people. And I wish you peace and love and love and love and love and love and love and love. Everything you want. It's not impossible.